Welcome to AI, the Artificial Incontinence, where we perform dramatic readings of AI written slop. Today I've come up with a bit of a strange story about a blob of grape jelly that causes a Jeep to crash into a tree. And by I've come up with it, I mean I asked an AI program to generate a ridiculous image and then just kind of ran with it. And so we have Mr. Blobby causes a stir. Opening music fades in, upbeat ukulele, and calming kazoo. But we're going to go with just the regular piano music that I always use. Why? Well, because my free credits on ChatGPT ran out. You know those road trips where everything goes according to plan? Yeah, this is not one of those. It all started on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday. Dave and Steve were cruising down a suburban street in a bright red Jeep. The sun was shining, birds were chirping, and the two of them were arguing over something incredibly important. Are hot dog sandwiches? Because apparently that's how adults spend their free time. Dave was driving, Steve was in the passenger seat, eating potato chips with the intensity of a man competing in the Olympic event called aggressive snacking. Everything was peaceful. Then, the sky turned purple. Not sunset purple. I'm sorry, do sunsets turn the sky purple? Not there's a storm coming purple. Also, the sky doesn't turn purple when there's a storm coming. I mean, a giant smiling blob of grape jelly descending from the heavens purple. And there, hovering over the neighborhood, was a gigantic Mr. Blobby. I like how it says that, like as if we're supposed to know who Mr. Blobby is. 3 eyes, huge smile, looking like someone had crossed an alien with a marshmallow and then fed it nothing but sugar. The Jeep slowed. Steve looked up. Dave? Yeah? Either I'm hallucinating, or the sky has developed a face. Dave looked up. Oh, that's definitely a face. Then, Mr. Blobby waved. Now, if a giant smiling blob suddenly appears above your vehicle, there are a few reasonable reactions. You can panic. You can scream. You can question your life choices. What you should not do is stare directly at it while driving, which is exactly what Dave did. The Jeep drifted. It bumped over the curb. Steve looked ahead. Dave! Hang on, I think it's winking at us. Dave! I think it has 3 eyes. Dave, the tree! Crash! The Jeep drove straight into a giant oak tree. Wood splintered, leaves exploded everywhere, a hubcap flew off and landed in someone's bird bath. Everything was silent. Then came a deep, booming voice from above. Oh dear, did I do that? Mr. Blobby looked genuinely concerned. Imagine causing a car accident and reacting like someone who accidentally sat on the TV remote. The giant blob frowned. Then suddenly, poof! There was a flash of purple light. Dave and Steve vanished. A second later, they reappeared. On the roof. Just sitting there, on somebody's house. Still in their seats. Still buckled in. Still holding their complete expressions of terror. There was a long pause, and a squirrel stared at them. They stared back. Finally, Steve looked around. We're on a roof. Dave nodded. We're definitely on a roof. Another pause, and Steve grinned. You know, Dave immediately knew it was coming. No, we really branched out on this trip. Silence. Even the squirrel looked disappointed. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked once. Dave closed his eyes. I wish the tree had taken me. Mr. Blobby appeared beside them. Was that a joke? Yes. I liked it. Of course you did. Then he accidentally sneezed, and purple sparkles exploded everywhere. A nearby chimney turned into a giant teapot. What? Nobody asks questions anymore. I have so many questions. At this point, reality had clearly resigned from its position. Hours passed. The fire department came. The police arrived. Then they left. Oh, okay. Did they do anything, or they just arrived and left? One officer simply looked at the enormous floating blob, sighed deeply, and said, I'm retiring. So wait, they arrived, then they left, then the police officer said he's retiring while looking at the blob. Okay, I just want to make sure. They arrived, left, then I guess came back to say they're not going to do anything, then they left again. Eventually, as the evening settled in, everyone sort of calmed down. Seems like they're already pretty calm. The Jeep was still embedded in the tree. The tree somehow had a turn signal hanging from one branch. The chimney was still a teapot. What teapot? And Mr. Blobby floated gently above the neighborhood. Dave, Steve, and Mr. Blobby sat down together on some lawn chairs someone had somehow found. Each of them held a cold drink. Nobody knew where the drinks came from, and frankly, nobody cared. They all took a sip. Steve looked at Mr. Blobby. So do you do this often? Mr. Blobby thought for a moment. I mostly just wander around and accidentally cause mild chaos. Dave nodded. Honestly, I think we all do that. Another sip. A breeze rustled the leaves. The giant blob smiled. Steve smiled. Dave smiled. The squirrel smiled. Of course, the squirrel comes back. Then Steve looked at the tree. You know, if you think about it. Dave sighed. No. The tree and I really made a connection. No. We put down roots. Stop. Mr. Blobby laughed so hard he hiccuped and accidentally turned the teapot chimney back into a regular chimney. So apparently he's magic. Okay. The three of them sat there under the evening sky, drinking together and enjoying the strange, ridiculous end to the weirdest road trip in history. And somewhere deep down, Dave had to admit something. It had really been a trip worth, dare I say it, branching out for. Dave stood up. You know what? I'm walking home. I just want to note that in the image that ChatGPT created for me, the roof that they're sitting on is not actually connected to anything. It's just a floating roof that's above the car. And Mr. Blobby, he looks happy, yet especially menacing when he takes up the whole sky. But I just want to note that that roof is not connected to anything. Well, it looks like there's maybe a single beam or part of a roof coming down from the upper right that's sort of connecting it to something that's off screen, but it's just an island in the middle of the road that has a tree in it. So this neighborhood is designed specifically to cause an accident. Well, I guess that does it for today's episode of AI, the Artificial Incontinence. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and do all the associated YouTube things. I mean, this is definitely the high quality, dare I say it, transcendental content that I think most people need in their lives. Have a wonderful evening.